Welcome to the 2022 Mazda Roadster NR-A ND, the ideal weekend racer. And today we're checking this vehicle out because it can now be engine swapped with update 1.52. And well, I'm gonna spoil it for you right now. We can take the engine from the Mazda 787B and throw it into this little pocket rocket. So with that being said, before we get into the engine swap, we need to see how the vehicle is stock. So to get your hands on this vehicle, well, you need to head on over to Brand Central and you are going to have to pay 31,000 credits, which honestly is not too shabby. So now, when you have the vehicle purchased, you can then take it on over to whatever circuit you like. For me, that's Kyoto Driving Park. Now, once we head on over to that circuit and we start really setting laps, we begin to notice a few things. And firstly, it is when you come down Kyoto Driving Park straight away, you are doing about 170 kilometers per hour, which is not much. Now, the reason the vehicle doesn't really have that much kick in it is because of its engine. And the engine is a 1.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that pushes out 130 brake horsepower, which is frankly not a lot of power. But what does help out is the fact that the vehicle is lightweight. It comes in at just over 1,000 kgs, comes in at 2,227 pounds, which is 1,010 kgs. So a very lightweight vehicle. So that's what really helps out with the corners. Plus, with it being the NR-A spec, that means, well, it has the best of the best. We see that this vehicle has upgraded drive shafts, LSD differential case, the size of the radiator, brake rotors have been increased, and it also comes with height adjustable suspension. Also has a kinematic posture control system that stabilizes the rear end of the car, and it also is equipped with roll bars and bucket seats to just help with setting hot laps. So this vehicle is now kitted out to be track focused, and when it comes to just setting lap times, well, we do find ourselves setting lap times around the 2-minute and 8-second mark, which is very slow. It is very slow, and look, it's your cheap little fun toy to have on weekends. It's not going to be a proper dedicated racer. The brakes are right, it doesn't really throw the rear end out, and it's more of a starter race car. I mean, it's still street legal, so there is that. So look, standard, you don't want to drive it stock, you need to throw some upgrades at it. So to do that, you can head on over to a tuning shop and start spending quite a lot of money. And when you do that, well, you can end up with a vehicle that produces 317 brake horsepower and a vehicle that comes in at a weight of 868 kgs. So honestly, a lot more power, a lot of weight is stripped out of it, and then we can still head on over to GT Auto and still add some visual customization. So we see we have two options for front bumper, then we have two options for side skirts, then two options for a rear diffuser, and lastly 3 options for a rear wing. So you can still add some extra downforce to your MX-5. So if you take it back out onto circuit now with the vehicle being fully upgraded, it is a lot better than standard. Am I gonna say it's insanely fast? No, because now with it being upgraded max downforce racing soft tires, the vehicle now sets laps around a 1-minute 41-second mark, which frankly is not competitive in my eyes. It still has a way to go for it to become competitive, but we see that the biggest change is when it comes to acceleration and the way it can just handle straightaways has improved so much, and that's honestly the biggest downside with this vehicle. It just does not have enough oomph behind it to really set that fast of lap times. So let's see now, by heading on over to GT Auto and spending 1,750,000 credits to engine swap this vehicle, well, we should have a lot more power. But we gotta answer a question, is it even worth engine swapping? Because look, that is a lot of money to be spending on an engine swap. But we see once we purchase it and take it on over to the tuning shop and add a high RPM turbocharger, Well, we are going to be left with 989 brake horsepower in a vehicle that weighs 958 kgs. That is more power than we have weight. So how is that gonna equate onto circuit? So now we see that the vehicle's rear end lights up. It burns through the racing soft tires, and that is something that you now have to watch out for. Now coming down Kelso Driving Park straightaway, we are traveling at over 300 kilometers per hour before we need to slam on the brakes, and that's the thing. The vehicle can still handle traveling at those speeds, because when you slam on the brakes, you are not really afraid that you're gonna run off circuit or run too wide. The vehicle is able to really just slow down and make around corners. And the thing is, with the downforce on this vehicle, it is decent. It could be better, but at the same time it could be a lot worse, because in a previous video we did go over another MX-5 with the same engine swap in it, and I did not recommend it. Now when it comes to lap times, we do see the vehicle now set lap times around the 1 minute and 34 second mark, which in my eyes is competitive, but I honestly thought it would be a lot faster. But look, even though it's not as fast as I thought it would be, it has a great advantage. Vehicle now having an engine from a Group 1 vehicle. So now with the car having an engine from a Group 1 vehicle, that just means when we take it on over to a WTC 700 around Le Mans, it has such an insane advantage over the vehicles you are going to be racing against, because with this vehicle you can slap on fuel map level 1 and leave it there for what feels like the entirety of the event, because you are going to be able to manage 3 laps of fuel before you need to dive in circuits. Now 3 laps is quite impressive, and we gotta remember that this vehicle coming down the straightaway is doing about 340 kilometers per hour, which is just absolutely nutty. Now if you want to do a no stop run, you can do that. Set it on over to fuel map level 6, do some fuel saving tactics, and you will not need to refuel this vehicle, and that is absolutely nutty. But when it came to setting an initial lap, I will be honest, I did not set the best lap possible, and because of that I still ran a 3 minute 59 second lap, which is just nuts, because I ran a bit wide. I got actual vehicle damage which slowed me down, and I still managed to set a just scrape into setting a sub 4 minute lap, which is quite impressive. I can see this vehicle doing a 3 minute 55 second lap with ease. But hey, let me know if you do try this vehicle out, what type of lap times are you getting in it? Are you using it for money grinding? Or you know what, just let me know your thoughts of this vehicle in the comment section below. But for me, I say it's a good engine swap. It's not the best vehicle I would engine swap this engine into, but it's not a bad one. Let me just say that it's alright. It's not gonna rewrite the book on what you think a fast vehicle is, but honestly it's not too shabby, and it still sets good fast lap times. It's not that difficult to control, and overall it's not a bad engine swap. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.